had a great run. I mean, this year, this month, in fact, the LF is already up 20%, and the Realty Index is looking pretty smooth this afternoon. IGL is another stock at a fresh 52-week high. Glenmark Pharma is at a fresh 52-week high today. So, you know, a lot of stocks coming back. Cyient is also looking pretty good. In fact, talking about Glenmark Pharma, the focus has been on the pharmaceutical space for a while. The stock's looking pretty good. Lupin is also up about 2%. Any reason for that, Ekta?
Well, Sonia, we've been discussing this for the past 2 weeks, that pharmaceutical stocks have seen some amount of interest come back. So today we have JPMorgan, which is written on it, as well as CITI. So I'll start with JPMorgan, which has said that the Nifty Pharma Index is up around 6% in the last 1 month and has outperformed the Nifty by around 270 odd basis points. Now, 5 reasons that will drive the sector performance through the year, according to them. First is the India business, which is likely to see the highest price increase this year, aided by one of the highest NLEM, which is the National List of Essential Medicines, revisions. Secondly, price erosion trends are moderating in the US generics business versus elevated levels that we saw around 2 years ago. And they say that the opportunistic gains in US are arising now on account of increased drug shortages and supply disruption. Remember that drug shortages in the US are currently at a 5-year high. Now, they also believe that there is easing of input costs, freight cost normalization, which should eventually aid margins. And overall, the sector valuations are reasonable. So the sector valuation is at around 22 times 1-year forward PE, which is a 22% premium to the Nifty, versus a 15-year average of around 33%. Now, top picks for JPMorgan are Sun Pharma, which is a solid domestic franchise, according to them. Continued ramp up in specialty, something they like. Cipla, continued outperformance in India, and peptides is seeing a strong traction in the US, which is a type of drug. Next brokerage which is written on the pharmaceutical space is CITI. They believe the current optimism around the US generic pricing may in fact be short-lived. So they're striking a cautious note on the US, which is contrary to what JPMorgan is saying. CITI says the biggest reason behind the continued pressure on generic pricing in the US would be an aggressive scale-up by small and new entrants in the US, which remains unabated. They maintain a cautious stance, and the product-specific executions would be important in the US markets. They maintain that Sun and Torrent Pharma are their preferred picks in the Indian pharmaceutical space. So that's what's buzzing in that entire space.
Okay, but the other space that we're looking at this afternoon is affordable housing companies. So Abhishek is joining in to tell us about a brokerage note over there and why these stocks are buzzing in trade this afternoon. Abhishek, over to you.
Well, Morgan